welcome to the channel. In one of my earliest videos I introduced you to a German ersatz cavalry sword, which was some sort of a replacement weapon meant to prevent supply shortages during World War I. Well, here's another example of a sword whose design was the consequence of such shortages, and this one being a variant of the German or Prussian infantry officer sword model 1889. The 1889 infantry officer sword was issued to all the officers of the infantry regiments, including the grenadier and fusilier, but also other dismounted specialist units such as Marines, colonial infantry, and East Asian Expeditionary Corps. Since the German Empire was like a federation, other states could wear the sword, but did so while having their own national crests on the hilt. And this included the states of Bavaria, Saxe-Weimar, Mecklenburg-Schwerin, and Württemberg, who, of the group, was the only one who most commonly used the sword, the others being very scarce. This meant that many variants and subtypes existed, but this specific one appeared only as a result of the logistical challenges that were faced during the Great War, and as a result, not made in great numbers. Its design clearly spells wartime production. The standard brass-hilted guard here has been replaced because brass was needed for ammunition products. This resulted in this model's hilt being made of a plain sheet of steel, which was punched with the eagle emblem. That was also simplified in its design. The guard was then blackened or burnished. The handle was made of naked cherry wood, sometimes painted black, and wrapped with coarse double steel wire. Strangely enough, this model kept the Kaiser's cipher on the grip, which was made of brass, despite said shortages. Since this was a state property, it had all the fittings and the back of the blades marked with the inspection stamps, as well as the W and the acceptance dates. In this one is 1915, meaning it was issued during the war. Much to my surprise, the hilt has a unit marking on it, which is not so easily encountered with these variants. The unit is 4LE JBS 26, which is likely to be 4th Landwehr Infantry Ersatz Battalion Stabscompanie, or Staff Company, weapon number 26. In 1916, a year after it was issued, the regimental marking system was no longer used or mandatory, so this one came a bit before that order was issued. The scabbard has a single ring, yet the second bracelet remains, but the ring having been cut out. It is likely that this was an older scabbard that was paired with this sword. This interesting variant was one of the last state-issued infantry officer swords to be made. Private purchases could still be found, but not in this form, and as the conflict went on, the focus was shifted towards more pressing matters. So the 1889 swords and its many variants were no longer issued, as their purpose was no longer mandatory or useful in the battlefield, and thus these lovely weapons faded away in history for good. Only a few scarce numbers were reissued, but in very low numbers, in the newly formed Reichswehr that appeared after 1918. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about the 1889 and its many variants, I highly recommend the book that is listed below for a good read. Thank you once again for your presence today. I'll be seeing you in the next video.